Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to the NovaWrap, your one-stop location for all your release news and goings on from the simulation world from the week that was. Alrighty, so we're going to get started this week with the release from X-Plane. So this is the IXEG Boeing 737 project. Now, this has been often been sort of termed as I'm going to borrow a term from my good friend over at Air Daily X as vaporware. The original project started back in 2011, and it sort of went on and off, and we went very quiet for a long time. But then it sort of come out of the blue, and it is now finally available. Yes, it is officially released. So it was released this week, 23rd of April, available at x-aviation.com for purchase now. So this is an incredibly detailed rendition of the 737, looking absolutely amazing, covering off quite a few of the variants as well. So looking pretty impressive. Yeah, as most of you know, I'm not an X-Plane user at the moment, but you know what, this is what I imagine sort of like the equivalent of PMDG quality for X-Plane. It does look absolutely incredible. The attention to detail in some of the screenshots and the video that I've been looking at is just absolutely insane. So yeah, this is the 737 Classic, so the earlier versions of it, and as I said, it comes with 20 liveries, looking absolutely amazing with paint kit ready to go for the repainters out there. And yeah, for X-Plane users, definitely rejoice for this one because it looks absolutely stunning. So this is available now from xaviation.com. No word yet if it will be available at any other sites yet, but for more information, head over that. Just a quick note though, it is version 1, and they have noted that a couple of things will not be available at release. So just read what's available and what's coming over at X-Aviation and also on the X-Pilot forums as well, just to make sure that you're happy to grab it now or whether you want to wait till it's fully complete. So as I said, available now for X-Plane 10 64-bit. Alright, moving on into other aircraft releases this week, so into the world of F6 and P3D. So we saw Alibao have released another title again this week, so they've released the PA-31 Chieftain 350. So continuing on with their sort of range of sort of the smaller, lighter twin engine props. This one's looking pretty cool, interesting as well. Pretty standard as well, features as we see from Alibaba and Carinator, so integration with Flight 1's GTN 750 and Reality XP's GNS 530. Otherwise it does just come with Alibao's own customized G600 or GNS 530. It gets two different models, so you've got a commuter variant which has more passenger space, or just the standard sort of GA type aircraft as well, coming with a fairly impressive range of liveries as well on this one. They've extolled a few interesting little details on this one. They do give you a cold and dark startup option that you can set up in a preload thing as well. And one of the things that they've gone to great details to emphasize is the takeoff run, the engine performance, and the landing roll run, and actually how the aircraft sort of moves and sort of wobbles when it's doing both of those things. So that's pretty interesting with that one as well. Otherwise, just looking absolutely incredible as all the great quality of products that we see from Alibaba and their sister company Carinator. This one is available now direct from the Alibaba website or from your favorite flight sim retailer. And of course, but better point out that it is available, fully compatible with all the ESP ones, so F6, F6 Steam Edition, and P3D all the way through to version 3 as well. So there you go, pretty much you've got you completely covered. Alright, in another aircraft release this week, so the guys over at Fly Simware have produced another aircraft, and they've produced the Grumman G44A Widgeon. Essentially, this is like the sort of a variant or a similar designs to the Grumman Goose. Excuse me, and it just looks pretty incredible. And one of the things I really like about Fly Simware is that the fact that they go to a lot of detailed and animated stuff, and I expect that it would have some of the gotchas that Fly Simware stuff does, because they customize a lot of coding. A lot of your sort of simple keyboard commands and stuff like that won't work. So, which is pretty cool because it means that you've actually got to pay attention to what's happening in the cockpit and stuff like that. Again, coming real with a lot of high quality stuff as well. And one of the things that they're aiming with this one, and interesting, they must have done a lot of code optimization with some of their previous from some of their previous products as well, because they've made sure that it is fully shareable, so which means it's going to have to be a fairly low packet count to be a good quality cockpit sharing aircraft. So, which is pretty cool and pretty exciting to see. A variety of textures are included, varying from either the your standard F to your HD, so your 2048 up to your 4096 textures as well. Compatible with the GTX 330 and FlightSimWare GNS 530 as well, with their own included stuff. And yeah, the usual live payload managers that we come to expect, especially from their Learjet release, and as well as some of the beautiful high quality animations and beautiful sound effects coming with that one as well. Fully DX10 compatible and available and compatible with, of course, FSX and all versions of FSX, and of course with P3D all versions as well. Coming with 5 repaints for this one, so 3 US ones, an Italian Navy one, and a civilian one as well. So you never know. Hopefully, we might see some Royal Navy Fleet Air Arm ones coming out soon as well. But you never know. And custom shockwave lights. So this one is fully compatible, fully available now as well. Available now from FlightSimWare directly from their online store or from your favourite flight sim retailer shortly. Alright, moving from the skies into the scenery world today. So we've got a few scenery releases this week. So we saw. We saw it now. I know I'm gonna get the pronunciation of this one wrong. So this is Bouvas-Tiller Airport, which is the 10th busiest airport in France, apparently. So Lima Foxtrot Oscar Bravo. So this has come out from the guys over at New Scenery Studio, and they've come out and put a few things. They've customized it and updated it to all the airport changes up to and including the end of 2015. So a nice modern airport for us there. They've got a lot of the they've done customized land class for the area surrounding the airport as well as the airport itself. Photoreal grain textures merged with custom autogen as well, with some pretty impressive details on that one as well. Again, like we're seeing with a lot of the scenery releases at the moment, coming with a little a sort of manager sort of tool where you can actually turn on and off things like your 3D grass and certain animations and vehicles and stuff like that, which is always good to optimize it for your system. And interesting for cool as well. It's got an interesting sort of weird thing which I'm curious about, and is the fact that it's got seasonal variations. So it automatically adjusts the terrain, the photoreal and the terrain sort of land class kind of stuff, depending on the scene. The season. So you're obviously going to change to winter and snow and stuff like that, and winter and stuff like that. But you have to manually do it for the vegetation, which is a bit odd. But anyway. And yeah, optimize to make sure to minimize your chances of getting the OOMs, the dreaded OOMs and stuff like that. So yeah, looking pretty interesting, pretty cool. With their approach lights and everything. So looking not too bad. And I said they've done a nice job of the external areas around the airport as well. Now, New Scenery Studio has done an interesting path through this one. So it's kind of similar to what some more usually what aircraft developers do, but I think this is the first time I've seen it for. Only the first or second time I think I've seen it for scenery, where the fact that if you want to get it it is available for FSX and P3D, but you have to purchase them separately, which is a bit of a shame. I was kind of expecting, we were kind of used to seeing them to bundle together, or at least if you're going to buy them, you buy them together as a bundle. But apparently that's not the case with this one. So yeah, I'm not sure if I like that choice there, but yeah, okay. But I suppose at the same time it means if you've only got one of these simulators and you're not intending to get the other one, then you don't have to pay for one that you're not going to use. So yeah, swings and roundabouts. So yeah, that is available now from your favourite flight sim retailer. Alright, in additional scenery releases this week, we saw the guys over at Mag Mexico. So normally famous for doing things the airports south of the border. They've gone north of the border this time, so they've done the McMillan Miller Regional Airport has been done with this one. So in Hidalgo County in Texas, the great state of Texas. Well, I suppose that kind of makes sense why the Mexican developer did it, because it is just over the border, I suppose, isn't it? Yeah. Anyway, so yeah, it gives you a full update, including all the way up to 2015. It carries a huge amount of traffic on this one. The modelling and the detailing on the buildings and the runways look absolutely incredible. They really do, and I'm particularly impressed by some of the night lighting that's been put into this airport. I'm fairly impressed by this. I think these guys have learned a lot of lessons from other developers out there who've been pioneering some of the use of the way of getting the most and be able to do reflections and stuff stuff like that inside of FSX. Yeah, those ones P3D are kind of used to it already, but FSX you got to work a little harder to get the same effect. But yeah, it looks absolutely amazing how the lighting's been implemented on this one. And as I said, this one's available now. This one is compatible, of course, all of your versions, so all your FSX and all your P3D versions for the one price. Available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. Alright, rounding out these scenery releases for this week, so the guys over at MSK Productions. So these guys, this is sort of it's a new release, but it's kind of a reboot as well. So this is Alam Iqbal International Airport, so Oscar Papa Lima Alpha. So this one's in in Pakistan, near the city of Lahore, so it's the capital of the Punjab province. It's kind of interesting. These guys originally released this for 2009, about 4 or 5 years ago, I think, actually. Now, yeah, but they never officially supported FSX before. But now they've rebooted it, they've updated it. It is now fully compatible with FSX and P3D, all its versions as well. Though they do note that the P3D version 3.2 does have an issue at the moment, so they do sort of put that as a caveat and a disclaimer there to let you know. It comes with some AI traffic files as well. It looks like as well, which is interesting as well. And it's, as I said, been and as I was as with the other airports review we're looking at today, fully updated to the 2015 layout as well, which is pretty cool. Looking not too bad. Mixture of static and AI aircraft going to be included with this one. Not sure how they're going with the AI aircraft, or maybe they just set it up for flight plans if you've already got AI stuff installed. Not sure. Guess we'll find out. But yeah, overall, looking not too bad. Nice to see it updated, and these guys still around, still producing, and still updating. So that's pretty cool as well. If you did previously own the FS9 version, you are eligible for an update offer as long as you purchase it through the same online retailer that you got the last one through. So there you go. As I said, this one is available now from your favorite flight sim retailer. Alrighty, moving out of the skies now and moving on to the world of construction. So, a few years ago we saw Aerosoft and a smaller publisher, Toxtronics Interactive, a German publisher, they released a Bridge, and now they've come out with a sequel, funny enough, called Bridge 2. So Bridge 2, the construction game. Essentially, it's really it's a puzzle simulation game. It kind of is as much as it is, and kind of interesting. It gives you 50 different missions plus 8 tutorials as well, with 4 different difficult levels as well. And interesting, it basically gives you a whole heap of challenges. It gives you an area you've got to put a bridge across, and you've got to be able to construct one in the most efficient way possible and make the most efficient use of design to be able to handle traffic, whether it be road, rail, mixture of both. Sometimes you get other things thrown into the mix where you've got to be able to make sure you keep the waterways clear for ships and all sorts of fun stuff like that. So looking pretty interesting. The first one was quietly successful. So this second one has got a few graphics revamps as well, updates the Unity engine and stuff like that. And as I said, it looking pretty interesting, and done like a few other things as well, with like endurance tests and stuff like that. A cool, neat little physics game, this one. A neat little physics simulation game, this one. And you know, who hasn't wanted to design a giant, cool looking bridge before? I mean, seriously, who hasn't? So yeah, there you go. And as I said, quite affordable, quite cool. Available now for less than $10 US. It's on a launch special for the first week that it's available. So it's just been released. This one is now available on Steam. I'll put the link below. And as I said, if you want to challenge yourself with a construction puzzle game, not a bad little one to have a look at. So take a look at the video, take a look at the screenshots, and see what you think. Alrighty, Keith. Well, moving on to something that uses bridges now. Let's move into the world of the trains now. So, Train Simulator have seen a couple of new releases this week. So, we saw a new train come out from them today, this week. So, this one is a new American, a Union Pacific diesel, DD35. So, this was sort of a pretty big thing. It's essentially designed as it was a booster engine for sort of like the main stuff as well. So essentially this sort of like works alongside the one that's actually inside the can work inside of works with some of the other things you've got included as part of your train simulation base package. But you get bundled with it the DD35, 35A, and the GP35, which is essentially the control unit where all the cabin you actually do the driving thing from as well. So this one is beautifully detailed. So it survived on first entered service in the 1970s and went through. It first entered service in the 1960s and then pushed on until the 70s, and the final models being withdrawn in the early 80s. So you get 4 scenarios for the Sherman Hill route, which is standard part of Train Simulator 2016. But you can also, it's fully quick drive compatible and compatible with Steam Workshop scenarios. So feel free to browse for some new things as well as there for your train experience. You also get some freight cars included as well to have a bit more of a customization, which is kind of cool as well. This one is available now on Steam for you Train Simulator aficionados. Alright, sticking with Train Simulator this year, we saw a new route add-on as well this way. So we saw the LGV, the Marseille Avignon route get added on this week. This one gets gets a whole heap of routes added on. So you get to go through here. You get all for the LGV and the Avignon TGV trains. You get some absolutely amazing scenery with this one as well, and it looks like you get you get a whole heap of transmission and sort of signaling systems, as well as the. It looks like you get the TGV train as well included with that one, and it looks absolutely incredible. It really does. So you get 100 kilometers of Marseille to Avignon high speed route with the TGV and the duplex and the SNCF liveries. So yeah, looking pretty cool. You've got what is it? I think it's 7 scenarios included with this one. Looks like, yeah. So 7 scenarios. Everything from, you've got a couple of basic tutorials and then a few routes to do as well. And again, as usual, fully compatible with QuickDrive and with the Steam Workshop scenarios with that one as well. So I think the main thing is the scenery. They're really modelling some beautiful scenery for France as well. So yeah, if you want to go zipping through the French countryside, it's almost worth getting this and then actually putting another train on it so you can enjoy the scenery at a slower pace. I think it'll be almost worth that one. So there you go. So yeah, that one is available now on Steam. Alrighty, moving on this week. So we've got more things on the roads and things that use bridges. So we've got Euro Truck Simulator 2. So Euro Truck Simulator 2 has released a couple of new pieces of DLC this week. So we saw the Hungarian and Turkish paint job packs come out. So each of these packs include 5 unique paint jobs with sort of various national themes and sort of memories being attached to them. It's all customization. DLC, and it's less than that. It's $1. It's a US dollar. So if you want to spice up your I can't say hangar for this one, can I? No. If you want to spice up your garage and the trucks that you're driving, you've got some pretty cool paint schemes that you can add into that one for your various Euro Truck vehicles, Euro Truck Simulator 2 vehicles. It's a cheap, simple DLC if you want a bit of visual variety. Available now if you are into beating up the roads throughout Europe and going through some of the beautiful destinations. And I must say, yeah, the deliveries are looking pretty sweet. They are pretty sweet. So yeah, each one of these packs is available now on Steam for $1 each, available now on Steam. Alrighty, we're going to round out the NovaWrap this week with a perplexing little title. So this is a Steam Greenlight game called Oil Enterprise. Again, I always highlight simulation games on this thing, whether even if there's some of the more bizarre simulation games. This one essentially places you as an oil magnate, so drilling for black gold, and you have to run an oil corporation and you have to expand it. So you've got all sorts of scenarios here. You've got up to 15 regions around the world that you can access, and you can go through everything it takes you on a bit of an entrepreneurial challenge, everything from your first oil field all the way through to being a global oil magnate. It's an interesting, quirky little title. Very cartoonish style graphics. Interestingly enough, at first look at this, it sort of was first open for pre-release on Greenlight almost a year, about 8-9 months ago, but it's now official first version 1 release is now available this week, and looking pretty interesting. I must admit, I looked at it and thought this looks like it possibly could be better. I thought initially it might have been a port over from mobile, but no, it's a PC title. So yeah, looking pretty interesting. The cartoonish style graphics do kind of give it a bit of charm as well. But yeah, kind of interesting. If you're interested, have a look at, check it out. I'll be honest, not my thing, but you never know, it could be yours. And if you are into the managerial type simulation games, this could be one for you to check out, something a little bit different. So there you go. Available now, as I said, on Steam. Alright folks, as I said, that now wraps up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Just a quick notice to everybody, there will be no NovaWrap next weekend, so next Sunday or next weekend I am attending the Wings Over Illawarra Air Show in New South Wales in Australia. So I will be on the road, and so there will be no NovaWrap next week. So just to let you know, don't expect one because it's not going to be here. So if anybody says, where is it? It's because it's not going to be there. So just FYI. But for anybody who happens to going to be at the air show, drop us a line on the Facebook page or on Twitter. You never know. You might catch up with me during the air show. I will be there on both days. So I look forward to catching you there. I believe also the guys from Flight Sim Store are going to be there as well, which will be pretty cool. Hopefully I get a chance to catch up with them. Alright folks, as I said, that wraps up the NovaWrap for this week. Thank you very much for joining me. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can always catch up with me and all the things I'm up to between videos by following me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.